I'm going to look at creating a slightly different sky for the snow pass. And to do what I'm going to need to do, I need to make a pass that contains all of the objects so I can actually visually see the entire scene without breaking it down into layers or render passes. So to do that, I'm going to create an empty pass, and I'm just going to call this default for now, just so we know that it kind of just contains everything. Very crude, of course, still OpenGL. And I really just want to replace this sky here with my own sky, and I'm going to try and use the particle system to generate some clouds to seed for the snowfall, and use the physical sky shader to create the environment within which the clouds will behave. So to do this, I'm going to switch back to my Scene Explorer by pressing S, and in the winter environment model, I'm going to go to the set, and I'm just going to hide the sky dome for now. I don't really actually need to delete it. I'm also going to have to color correct this ground texture map because it currently doesn't reflect the lighting I want to use. I'm actually going to desaturate this and take a lot of the blue out of this map and just create kind of a sort of a hazy cloud cover with the physical sky shader and sun shader. So I'm actually going to get rid of all of my key lights, my fill light. I still have my effects tree here with my initial comp. That's fine. And what I'm going to do is create the sky shader pass by initializing it, and the render pass for the sky shader will go on this new default pass. So this is where this is all going to be set up. And I don't have a sunlight yet, so one's going to be created for me. It's going to be a directional or infinite light constrained to the world origin. So I can pick one or just create my own. I'll apply that. So I have my light now, my physical sun, and if I press enter, we just have the normal light attributes here. In fact, nothing really special with the light other than the fact it's an infinite light that's named as the physical sun. We'll change that in a moment. At the render pass level, if I press P, the default pass has had the mental images physical sky environment shader attached to the environment stack of the default pass. If I inspect it, you can see that it has a number of attributes that I need to set, and if you remember back to the version 6 training, it's going to have to be set up in much the same way, synchronizing the light attributes once the physical sun shader is attached with the physical sky attributes. These attributes, of course, being the ones that I would use to drive the light. You'll notice the one thing I always switch is the horizon height when setting the physical sky shader. Horizon height seems to be just a little high at the default setting. So now I'm going to go in and attach the physical sun to the sun shader to my infinite light. If I open up a render tree for the physical sun, again, we can't manage this through the materials manager because this is just dealing with materials. But if I open up a render tree, there's 7 hotkey, instead of using the soft light shader to shade the scene, I'm going to be going in and replacing it with the physical sun shader. So if I use the preset hide show, I'm going to look for the light category of tools. There it is there. And I'm going to find the physical sun shader. I'm going to actually replace the soft lights light shader connection to the light material. And I no longer need the soft light material shader. Sorry, remember that when you're using the soft light shader, the shadows are controlled, as well as the umbra, through the soft light shader. We're now going to be controlling the shadows through the physical sun shader. So we have shadow softness and samples. We next need to make sure that final gathering is enabled. So I will, within the render region that I'm playing with right now, I'm going to go into the active viewport options, or the all options, and I'm going to turn on final gathering. So in the Final Gathering tab for Mental Ray, we'll enable Final Gathering. And we'll leave the settings for now. I can adjust the primary and secondary bounce color a little bit later. We want to make sure that we're definitely not writing to the map. We're just overwriting the existing Final Gathering map file that's created to hold the light information within the final gathering data set. So the last thing before actually starting up a render would be to synchronize the physical sun settings, whereas if I open up a render tree and open up the attributes, I'll lock the page down. It's the multiplier and the horizon height that we really need to synchronize first. I'm going to go to the default passes properties by clicking on the pass and inspecting the physical sky shader attached to the environment. Now I'm going to actually have the physical sky shader drive some of the physical sun attributes. So things like the multiplier and the haze. These are values that would definitely need to be synchronized between the two. And I'm just holding down Shift and dragging and dropping the keyframe widgets from what I want to control to the attribute I want controlled. The only thing I really need off of the physical sun is the shadow softness and samples. And one of the things that you can actually do to really tune things at this point is to create a custom parameter at the scene level and a custom parameter set and start to hold a lot of these attributes here, just dragging and dropping their widgets as proxies. So I'll do that. I'll just take the scene root and switch over to the animate tool set and create a new custom parameter set, of which I'll call light controls. And when I open that custom parameter set and pin the widget down, I'm going to drag the multiplier widget, keyframe widget, onto the custom parameter set. I'm going to need to control the haze, red-blue shift, and again, you can see what I'm doing here. I might want to rename some of these attributes, but for now this should be good enough. Bring the sun disk intensity. Oops. I set an expression rather than actually dragging the value on. So we'll get the sun glow intensity, and then finally we'll take the shadow softness and samples from the physical sun shader. Okay, that should be good enough for now. If we need to populate this with more, we absolutely can. I'm not entirely sure that I didn't mess up on the intensity when I dragged and dropped the expression. I noticed the scale and intensity are the same, so we might need to go back and adjust this value. In any event, let's move ahead.